a special radio thing, and part of it included going to the very top of the North Towers on Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, literally to the top. The deck of the bridge is like it's 300 and something feet off the water, and the towers are almost 400 feet. So he was 700 feet above sea level. Nice. He took a really super cool picture of it.
We're live on YouTube, by the way, so no picking of the nose.
Oh, well, thank you for telling me.
Oh, man.
I mean, we're not... So what I do with these videos is I unlist them, and they go into a playlist for anyone to go and look at later. But we're not...
YouTube, by the way.
We're not live as far as, you know, thousands of people are, like, peering in at us. They need the link. And if you have YouTube going on, I recommend muting it. Because I can hear myself coming back in.
It cracks me up every time you do that. Here.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh no, there it is.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Who has YouTube up in the background?
Who has YouTube up in the background?
1, 2.
Somebody does. Not me.
I learned my lesson on the internet.
All right. You are now all muted. You will need to unmute yourself, and I will find the culprit. Feel free to unmute yourself.
All right. N6THN, not guilty of YouTube.
I have no YouTubeage turned on.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do YouTube.
Can't be me. I'm not YouTubing.
What's YouTube?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't have it on, so I don't think it's me. Yet.
Uh-oh.
YouTube. It's on the interwebs of America.
So how many forms of communication does this club have? We've got the repeater. We've got the website. We've got Facebook page. We've got Facebook group. We've got Discord. Holy crime-in-Italy.
I know. I just can't. I can't keep up anymore. I just don't know what I do. I've decided to do. I either call Frank or Jason. I just call them. What's it?
Don't call me.
Like,
call Jason.
Kevin,
call Frank and Jason. What's going on,
Kevin,
man?
we can't even get you to check your email.
You call me, I just say check with Jason.
Yeah, I know. Frank and we email the whole group of officers and board members.
All right, let's say I want to get on 40 meters and alert the whole club. Hey guys, I'm getting on 40 meters tonight at 7:00. What's the best way to do that?
Bruce,
help me fix my 40 meter antenna. It fell down. That would be the best way.
I'll help you.
Bruce, that is a great teaser for this evening's meeting. That is that is actually something I'm working on larger than just our club. Jim from the ARRL, our East Bay section manager, and I have kind of had some discussion on this. He's, I guess 2 years ago, he made me the PIO. He's mentioned it to me, but I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And he's like, and then, 6 months later, he's like, hey, you're it. I'm like, wait, what? So the public
information officer.
That's it. The public information officer of the East Bay section. So,
don't you know when they ask for volunteers, you're supposed to step backwards?
Well, I just smiled and nodded, and I said, "Oh, that's interesting." And I didn't know. I thought maybe there was a signature I had to give, but no, it's really not that big a deal. He kind of told me to do whatever I want with it per se. But yeah, so we're gonna cover that tonight here in a little bit. People are still joining us, so welcome. We got 22 participants. Video is not required. This is also on YouTube at the same time for people with the link. And we got Bert in the YouTube chat, and I'm not sure who SRB 6101 is.
Solid rocket booster.
Yes.
Oh, is that you? Is that Servando?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
I just heard SRB, and I'm like, woo, sounds fun.
I see you're +1 this evening.
You're all bundled up in the garage?
Yeah, dude. Look at this.
Baby.
Check this out. Look.
Nice. That's a
Got the buddy
dedicated
heater.
ham right there.
What?
Take the baby out into the garage with the space heater.
Yeah, why lift weights when you got that
Good job.
baby?
Good job. Maybe we should call the meeting to order. Or
Yeah.
so 7:05.
I just read the comments.
Oh, are they on YouTube?
No, the one on the
Oh, in here.
this the open chat one. Everybody can see
Pants
it.
are required. That's right. Number one rule.
You must wear pants.
Must wear
Yeah.
pants.
That's right. That's funny.
You know. Okay, so meeting started.
All right.
Welcome everyone. Let's do our pledge real quick, and then we'll get down to the dirty business of running this meeting.
All right.
All right. Well,
Wait,
give
Jason,
hold
can you
on.
Give us some really cool flag or something.
Yep.
Ah, here we go.
Yep. Give me a second
All
here.
right,
Give me
I
a
knew
sec-
it was good.
There it is. All right.
All right. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
Okay, here
Go
we
ahead,
go.
Frank. Start us off.
I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
America.
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic
for which
stands
stands
one nation
under
under
God,
God.
indivisible.
Liberty
and justice for all.
for all.
That's cool.
Woo! That was some rough timing.
Talk about digital latency.
Yeah.
I think that was just OM latency.
That was like a perfect simulcast.
Yeah. Almost.
Um,
You guys are killing me tonight. It's funny.
well, the one thing that we have to do this evening that we'll get out of the way right away, and then Kevin and Jason can take over and give us
Please,
some good info.
anybody can offer topics.
Yeah.
But we have to get you guys who are here to give us the A-OK, or everybody vote and say yay on just accepting the 2020 Radio Club officers and directors to be the same for 2021 due to COVID and all that, not being able to do the vote like we normally do. And we did make our efforts to say, hey, if you want to be nominated or nominate somebody, do that, and we didn't get anything. So the existing officers and directors decided that they would just continue another year, no problem. And then hopefully next year we can have a more traditional vote like we normally do. So we're asking the club to accept the 2020s officers and directors as the 2021 officers and directors, even though it was kind of an unorthodox way to go about doing that. So I would just say, raise your hand if you're okay with it. And,
All right, I make a motion to accept the same officers as last year.
Okay.
Seconded.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, then it would carry through. So we're officially, got the same officers and directors as last year. I know we're all happy to serve again, and we'll just see what happens this year. So
If this sticks around another year, you got it a third year.
Man, I hope not.
oh,
Man.
not, we got to, and I'll just say this before we move along with the meeting. It's a lot of the officers and directors have been doing this a long time, and the club is just growing so well. And there's just so many great guys. And I think this year it is time for, some new guys to come in and start kind of moving, helping out with the officer director thing. It's easy to do. It's fun. And so, I'm just hoping this year that we can get some new people in, just, give the guys that have been doing it for a long time a little breather. It's not like it's exhausting or anything. It's not.
Well, yeah, we're not going to run away or anything. We'll be there to support the new officers and directors and stuff like that, right, Frank?
Totally, absolutely, yeah. No, it's just, and I mean, we don't even know what'll happen, but I'm just saying, I hope this year that we can get some people to, serve as officers and directors that haven't been doing it for the past 10 years. So
Yep.
yeah. So anyway, with that, I got to write down what we did here. I'll hand it over to you, Kevin, and then you can let it roll.
Well, I'm glad we have 2022. I didn't look at the 27 tonight. Wow, man, that 27 on Zoom. There was a day when we had only 27 show up in the club room, and that grew at about 30. I mean, it's a pretty great thing that we have 27 people here tonight. So thank you for that. Hopefully we can get together in the reasonably near future. And speaking of reasonably near future, I was going to bring up a little bit of possible new business. What do we think about this year's summer field day? It's February now. Last year we started talking about it in February, March, and we kind of put everything into motion in March, and we did it in June. The first question is, are we interested in doing it? And if we are interested in doing it, are we going to do it under the same, I don't like using the word rules, but that's what it kind of is, that we did last time. If you want to come, you come. If you want to come and you wear your mask, you wear your mask. If you want to stand off to the back side and watch, whatever makes you comfortable. And when you're operating or sharing a amateur radio spot or space with people that are already there, you just ask them politely, is it okay if I watch you operate or whatever? Same rules we had last year. And then with the food part of it, we had a couple of people. Actually, last year it was Brian and his wife. Thank you, Brian. Frank had an emergency. He had to go leave town. But Brian stepped in and took care of it with a couple of helpers, and they had one person, a couple people, with gloves serving the food, and they took care of it, and we had no issue. So with that, are we as a club interested in doing something like that this year?
Yes. Are we able to do it at your house?
I don't know. I won't know for sure for a couple of weeks, I guess. I first want to find out if the interest was there. And if the interest is there, then we'll work on finding out if we can have it here. Dolores and I are thinking about scaling down. I'll say that. We're not leaving the area at the moment, but we are thinking about scaling down. And if we do, because we're empty nesters now. We have no kids coming back, no grandkids coming back. So we're thinking about scaling down. So if I scale down, and if we decide to sell the place and go live in my big van down by the river for a while, if we do that, depending on the individual that purchases the property, we may or may not be okay, because we'll be here for an extended period of time, but that doesn't mean that person is going to be okay with me having field day, because technically they own the field. So if that happens, and if the person says we can still hold field day, then the answer would be yes, we could have it here. If we works out where Doris and I we're moved and we can't have it here for a couple of reasons, we have to find a alternative spot. So first question is, do we want to do it? And will I come to field day? Yes, I will.
Yeah, Kevin, what Kevin's brain is thinking out loud right now. Gosh, you do so well with this, Kevin. For those of you not familiar with Zoom, I just launched a quick poll. It's anonymous. It doesn't put down if you said yes or no, but it's a simple question. Will you come to field day? I don't, obviously people have work and lives, but in other words, if we plan it, will you try to come? And so we're just going to start with that. Right now I see we have 22 yeses and 2 nos. So we have a very strong presence. It sounds like
Right.
Field day is a go.
Field of Dreams, huh? If we build it, will they come?
There you go. That's a reference. So then
There
we
you
should
go.
probably come up with like an A-B plan for location.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely Dolores and I are open to it, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the next 4 months. And I just want to be honest with everybody. If we're able to scale down, that's what we're going to do. And if we're not, well, then we'll still be here. But I don't think that we should not have a plan B in place. Right? And we might even like it enough. Maybe we'll make it the plan A. I don't know.
If your house is empty, can we sleep inside?
It won't be empty because we'll still be here because we will have no place to go.
Well, if you're in that weird transition period, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. You want to come sleep? Yeah. I mean, it'll be one of those things where most likely we'll be, renting back for a period of time. It could be 3 months, but I have to get at that point. I got to get permission from the individual and say, hey, is it okay if we have field day and that field that used to be mine, but it's not anymore?
So
they might say no.
Let's open the floor up to anyone that wants to comment in that. What other suggestions do we have? Is there anyone with other personal property we could do? We typically bring about 7 motorhomes, and that's probably the biggest challenge.
Would the airport still allow it?
Yeah, that's what I would ask.
The airport would allow us, but now you're down to about 2 or 3 RVs.
Yeah, that's the limits, 3 RVs.
And no VHF or UHF.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing about the airport, well, anywhere that time of year is tough. It's just the heat. The airport has been, it's nothing but tarmac all around us, and it's a big frying pan out there. Kevin's place obviously wasn't quite as bad. It was, I thought, significantly cooler than anything we did at the airport.
It's very cool. It's very cool over here. Yes.
Yeah. So
we're so cool.
That's a consideration just that we have to think about. Airport is cool. Like there are some restrictions though, and the heat would be a problem. One time BXP almost passed out.
Well, this time next month, by the next meeting, I should have more concrete information one way or the other. So why don't we just think about it? We don't have to answer it tonight. I just thought it would be fair that I let you guys at least know that I'm considering that. And next month I'll know a lot more. Okay.
Yeah, and that'll give everyone an opportunity to also give thought. Maybe someone has a family or relative. I mean, really, all we need is an empty field. We come pretty self-sufficient. Other than high-speed internet, I do require that. No, I'm kidding. I'll be fine.
Actually, you know what? I'll check. But my neighbors, they thought it was so cool. They offered their field to us last year.
Oh.
Yeah, they have matter of fact, the almost exact same spot that we were in. You just go across the rock road. They were like, yeah, you guys can put stuff over here if you want. This is great. So I could always ask them too. So we might not be completely out of it. We'll see.
Do you have a liability issue there?
Our club has our club insurance for what we're doing. You get permission from the property owner, and we supply them with a copy of our insurance.
Cool.
Yeah, we have.
Well, like at my place, if you get hurt, you're either dead before you hit the ground, or we don't know you and we didn't invite you, so we don't.
We just pick up the body and throw it out on the road.
Yeah, we don't know who that guy is. No. You know what, guys? The bottom line is everywhere we go, there could be a liability issue. And that's why the club has their our club. What do we call that? Is it actually it's real liability insurance to cover our club activities, right, Brian?
Through ARRL.
Oh, cool. Even better.
$1 million liability insurance, and it also protects the board members from personal responsibility.
Awesome. So does that answer your question, Mike? I think it was Mike.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Any other thoughts? Ideas?
Well, I would just say that eventually you are going to be going to Texas. So
someday,
even if this year, we can still do it at your place. We do have to start thinking about somewhere else just for future stuff. It'll be the following year, more than likely. So it is something to start just kicking around for everybody. Just start thinking
Even if I'm still here, we're going to scale down. That's the point. It could happen in a month, 2 months. It could happen in 6 months. So we're going to scale down because my wife and I I got like a regular job and I got my side stuff and my ham radio buds, and I don't need the warehouse space anymore to do it.
I got an idea, guys. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. The over there where 80 and 12 or Abernathy come together and they have that military display property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's owned by Herm Roland, the owner of Jelly Belly.
Ooh.
And I could ask him, because I do know him, if we could use that property, if you guys would be want to consider that. I could at least ask him and see if there's a possibility for availability. I do know they hold Sunday church services on a portion of that property, but outdoor church services. But other than that, I think we might be able to find a spot. That property's pretty large. If you want me to check it out.
Is that across from the truck scales, or is that?
No, that's on actually. It's on Sassoon.
Abernath? No, it's not Abernath.
It's on Sassoon Parkway, just west of I-80.
Yeah, it's right across from Mercedes.
Yeah, so you get off at the Chatfield, the Chadbourne exit.
Yeah, it's Abernathy and Rockville Road.
Yeah, it's right with a. Actually, it's not. No, it's not Rockville Road. It's Sassoon Parkway.
Oh yeah.
Am I close?
Yeah, you're close there, Jason. It's
it's American
you
Armory.
could blow that up a little bit to the to the left there.
Close to where the tractor place is.
Look
I think
for the Armory Museum. Is that what you're talking about, Don?
Yes. Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay.
Oh, really? Look over here.
Green Valley Tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, American Armory Museum. Right. And it says Chadbourne, and it's actually Sassoon Parkway right across from it. Up here.
That picture isn't current because there's a lot more stuff on that property, but I still think there's extra room.
I'll tell you, even this area here would be enough. That area right next to the road.
Can we operate off of these tanks?
Wow, ordinance is included.
That's great.
Bring your own ordinance.
That would be a really cool spot. Yeah, Don, that'd be great if you could get a contact.
Yeah, I will ask. Give me a week or so to work through it, but I'll ask and see if we can make that happen. And it's convenient because it's right off the freeway for everybody. It's easy access.
And it's breezy.
And and a spot like that, we could definitely kind of advertise or hang our banner by a fence or by the road. That could be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Maybe you could put a drone up there. I think one of our members is a specialist in drones now. Will?
And I'm thinking we've got some big businesses over here. Maybe they want to partner up. We'll have a bowl of Jelly Belly and a few kegs of Bud Light.
Yeah, that's possible. Well, I don't. Well, yeah.
If we're
and then we go get all our tools at Harbor Freight.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
Very cool.
Good idea. I like it. Want to mix it up anyways,
Yeah.
Same old thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. That's what I had on my mind for now. So, Jason has something you were going to share with us tonight. I don't know what it is because he's keeping it very secret.
It is not secret. Let me share my screen again.
I thought it was the PIO announcement.
Oh no, I mean gosh, I don't know how long. I don't know when that took place. But yeah, I'm somehow
It took place when you gave Jim a hamburger the first year he showed up.
Yeah.
He's like, you're the guy.
So some of you, well, I think everyone in here, and I'm checking, making sure no one is in our Zoom waiting to come in, but I believe everyone in Zoom is good with their email with our club. If you're not receiving emails, get with Brian to get you on that list. But I sent out the invite, and on one of the links was a Discord invite. And what Discord is it's not a new platform, but in the last couple of years, they've been restructuring themselves to kind of leave the gaming world. That's where they were born, a way for gamers to get online, play games, stay connected. You can stay connected through texting, like just words, chatting, voice, and video, and share your screen, and it's a multifaceted piece of media for communication. So they since went more towards grouping people together and connecting, and this year they've done a lot of work and effort in doing this. So this is an American company. I believe it was a young man out of San Francisco kind of started this. He's had a lot of people give him money. Microsoft was involved for a little bit, and so forth. And so what this is a new way to stay connected. There's no advertising. It doesn't cost anything. Essentially, we create our own little world and we live in it. So I've been experimenting for about the last year or two with the Ham Radio TV YouTube channel. I have a Discord server. They call these groups a server. Essentially it's a virtual, everything on the internet is sitting somewhere on a server virtually. And you kind of can create this own experience, if you will. And so, for instance, Nick in here has the 2 Meter Crew. And what I'll do is I will drop all the links on the YouTube video. So you also got that link when I sent out the email for all the different Discords. But you have the primary Discord that I kind of want to get you started with. There's a lot of Discords that I could recommend. But the first one is the ARL East Bay section. So I'm sure most of you are aware we are part of the ARL. Our club is. We are affiliated. And the East Bay covers 4 different counties, from here at Solano to Marin. Wait, I've got to check Marin. Napa, I meant to say, Contra Costa, a couple others. And we're pretty large. There's about 13,000 hams, I believe. There's a lot. There's a lot of us in this small little area, and that's why California is broken up into multiple sections for the ARRL section. In some other states, it's just the state. It's just Utah. It's just Colorado. So anyways, this platform that, I'm kind of putting out there, working with Jim. Jim is the ARL section manager. He also runs and operates Elk Antenna out of Pittsburgh, and he lives in Walnut Creek. He's come to a couple of our field days. Super nice guy. And email is fairly broken in today's time. Everybody gets a lot of it. You lose track of it. You can't remember where that went. There's a lot of conversations you want to have, maybe with this person or that person, but then you don't realize there's so many more ideas or thoughts that people could have. And so if you can put these questions, these ideas, even share what you accomplished somewhere in a public platform that is completely removed from kind of the mainstream stuff that's heavily inundated with ads, political, kind of all of that. I'm sure we're aware. And that's what this is. So I encourage you to kind of give it a shot, to try it. This is what's on my screen. We won't do a full tutorial on this tonight, but I just wanted to, kind of show you what I have going on here. And so off to the left, you see all the servers I'm involved with and I watch. And the very top one here is the one that we're currently looking at. And I'm here reducing the categories. So these are called categories. And how I have this structured, and there's a lot, is first you have the top, the ARL East Bay section. So this is a centralized place for news, announcements, events, East Bay staff to learn who they are and kind of rules, whatnot. Then there's also East Bay Hams. So this is a general forum for everyone in the East Bay to share information, gear for sale, antenna talk, radio talk, tech talk. You're looking for help, repeater talk, etc. And we can always add and subtract these. And what you typically do is you grab a bunch of other people that are familiar either with Discord or just know their way around a computer, and you make them admins, you make them mods. So quickly, multiple people are able to adjust this and make this an experience that a large majority likes. Where a website, typically it's hard. You only have one or maybe two webmasters, and it's really difficult to change that dynamically as the needs, change. And then, so what I did is I listed, and check this out. This is from the ARR's website. I'm still working with Jim to verify if I got everybody. But we got, can I spread this? We got the Amateur Radio Club of Alameda. We've got the Benicia Radio Club, the Delta Amateur Radio Club, East Bay Amateur Radio Club, Livermore, Martinez, Mount Diablo, that's MDark, North Bay Amateur Radio, Oakland, Orinda, South Bay, San Leandro, USS Hornet, which I want to go there and operate. They get on that Navy ship and they operate fairly often. Us, Vaca Valley Radio Club, Walnut Creek. And so, did I misspell that? Shams? Ooh, I think it should be probably Walnut Creek Hams. Sorry about that, guys.
It's shams.
So then all these different categories are going to kind of have the same look and feel. So you're going to have club info, you're going to have announcements, you're going to have club chat. So if we go down to ours, Vaca Valley Radio Club, and you jump into our info tab, here where it talks about our monthly meeting is on the second Thursday of the month at 7. We hold them virtually in Zoom. Until further notice, our weekly nets are every Tuesday at 8 p.m. On this here repeater. And I tell it, where the repeater is. I have a link to our website so they can find more information out. Here's some announcements. I made an announcement tonight at 7. Our monthly meeting will be in. Here's a link if they want to see it. Then club chat. We got Dale saying what's up, and Greg's in there. And then recently I added a repeater channel. Chris today actually said, hey, I'm getting a little scratchy in Clayton. That's where he lives. And about a week or so ago, it was beautiful. We had some maintenance up there. It was scratchy, had some maintenance, sounded really good. And then he just wanted to report, hey, we're getting a little scratchy in Clayton. And the question is anybody else getting a poor signal out there? And so as we then jump around to, let's say, Benicia, let's open up Benicia. Benicia has already started populating it. Thank you, Bob. W6RBF. And it has all sorts of stuff here about their repeaters. So very quickly, what we're trying to put together is a centralized platform that will connect all of us in our ARRL section. Because I didn't even know, I knew maybe 2 or 3 of these clubs in our section. And there's so many things we could leverage and learn. And Bruce, your question, it will now be answered. So you could get over here where it says East Bay Hams. And I should make a channel that says, getting on the air. So we could just click.
Can I repeat the question if anyone missed it?
Yes, please.
All right. My question was, hey, what's the best avenue to just put out a quick message to everybody in our club? Something like, hey, tonight I'm going to be on 40 meters. Anybody want to join at 8 o'clock? So website, email, Facebook, or Discord, or get on the repeater itself and just yell. What's the best way to do that?
The latter.
Yeah, so the repeater is always a good option, but how fun would it be to let other people know in our section? So that's how many clubs did I rattle off there that could be available to get on the airwaves. So then you would just say, who is up for HF? I'll be on, 7.225 or something like that. And then there's other advanced features, and we can go on this on another time, where what you can do is you can kind of ping people or ping groups, and what that'll do is that'll make your phone make a noise, a push notification, because this service I'm sharing, this Discord, will work on an iPhone, an Android, it'll work on Linux, it'll work on a Mac, it'll work on Windows. It will be a downloadable. Oh, Bert can do 10. Bert's ready for 10. So right on, Bert. And so, yeah, you can have that kind of back and forth. And, the area we're in is East Bay Ham. So you could have this chat down here on the Whiskey 6 on the Vaca Valley Radio Club. But why just limit to our club? Why not try to, learn about other clubs out there and get them on the air? So I will pause for a second, and I welcome questions.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
This is Ed. With what you were just showing right there, who scrubs that? How does your post get removed, or do we have to wade through, miles and miles of previous posts that no longer apply?
Okay, yeah. So this will end up being an endless stream, and there is certain features where you can pin important things. But if you noticed, my thought, and I'm always open to add more things, and a lot of times you have a handful of people. So if you just want to know about gear for sale, you would go to this tab. So in this little tab, or as they call it, channel, you would have just gear for sale. If you just want to have antenna talk, it'd be here at antenna talk. So the idea is as you have these different thoughts, ideas you're sharing, you're going to share it in different groups and categories. So at least the endless stream of information isn't all mixed up, if that makes sense.
So like on the for sale, if you post something for sale and then you sell it, I guess common courtesy would be that you go back in, make another post with this is no longer available.
Oh, yeah. So with that, you could also just delete it yourself if you wanted to. If you wanted, and that's a great application where you could go in. And so let's see, we're here. I said that was Radio Talk. So I can go here to my name, and I can then just click over here where the standard kind of menu, and then just delete message, and it'll just go away.
Okay. Thank you.
You can, yeah, you're welcome. And then you can also kind of do fun things where you can add a reaction. So, we can tell Bert that's thumbs up, or that's crap, or, whatever. And then there's also a reply function. And the reply function is kind of fun because when you hit reply and I say something to Bert, he will get notified on his device as long as you have that turned on. And by default, I set this up by default, you will only be notified if you're mentioned. So a mention, maybe later. So a mention looks like this. If I go @ and then I go, I think Bruce uses call sign. There he is, @N6T, and it's already guessing. I can hit the @ and kind of ping him and go, hey man, and Bruce should get notified. And with anything, there is a little bit of a learning curve. But a lot of times, one of the favorite things, the most favorite things I like to do is I always start with like settings. So get into your settings, look at all the different tabs, take a read, see if you kind of understand. This is just a tool. It's very powerful, but there is some ins and outs. But there's a lot of videos to watch. People have been using this. I think this came out in about 2015 for the gamers. And like I said, it's just a different take on communication. Not a website, not an email, but a larger kind of group. And as far as I know, we're the first kind of ARRL group kind of going for this beta test, if you will. And something like this will only be as good as people put into it. I have a fairly active Discord with all sorts of things going on. So does the 2 Meter Crew. Another one to follow is Ham Radio Crash Course. That's Josh. And a lot of times there is people actively talking on these on some of these servers. So that's something else that we can do. So right here we have Chris. So I can click onto this. I don't know. This might pull my audio away. I won't do it now because it might switch my audio out of Zoom.
Yeah, I tried to pull my audio when I clicked on that first, Jason.
Yeah. So what you can also do is you can jump into a voice chat and you can just kind of hang out here for a little bit, put the computer, a lot of people multitask, and also someone might kind of pipe in there and go, "Hey, are you here?" And you could have a voice chat. Again, meet new people, hash something out really quick. And that thing. So yeah, I mean, it's the limit. The sky's the limit on what you can do. And for me, I think it makes sense to create an encompassing group such as our East Bay section.
Jason?
Yeah.
This is David. So all of the East Bay ham clubs, are they aware of this, and are they putting in content about their clubs in here, or is that something you're doing, or how do they know about it?
So this will, as soon as we kind of roll through a few bugs, just because I need to make sure there's a lot of back office things such as like permissions and who can do what, and because we potentially are going to opening this up. You can keep it as closed and locked down as possible, but when you are dealing with a big group, it's hard to manage a closed down platform. So it will be a little bit open, and I want to make sure a few bugs are all worked out. But I can tell you the example here for Benicia, this was Bob. So Justin, who's in part of the 2 Meter crew, he is aware of this. Then Justin let his club know, Benicia, about it. So let's see, what else do they got in here? Do they have club chat? Oh, look. So last night, I'm not sure who this is. Sci-Fi Mom. That's another thing I should say too. What I would recommend is look into changing your name. It doesn't have to be your primary name, but you can make it a nickname for this server, the server being the ARL East Bay server. So this person here, I don't know who she is, but it'd be nice if I had like a first name and a call sign would be great. And it looks like they had a Zoom call. I'm trying to, here we go. So that was just last night. I think they had a meeting. And
they had a meeting last night and they mentioned it.
Yeah. So there you go. So, they were just kind of sharing a cool screenshot with us. And then the next step will be working with Jim, and he periodically sends out a email. And what he does is utilizes all members that are here in the East Bay. And that would be more than just these clubs, because I would assume there's clubs that are not ARL affiliated. And I'm not sure, we could make more tabs and grow it outside of the ARL East Bay section, affiliated clubs. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on that, because I think being part of an ARL is pretty huge. And I would encourage all organizations and clubs to be a part of it. So for right now, I'm just keeping it East Bay kind of eccentric, if you will.
Well, I think it's really cool. I appreciate it. How will we access this? How do we?
Yeah. So the email I sent out has a link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the email with the Zoom tonight, you go down there, hit the link. You're on a computer. It should, take you over. It'll probably ask, do you want to download this application? Because it prefers to run as a program on your computer, which works great. I have no problems, no flaws, no weird malware. Or on your phone, you could just launch it on your phone. And then that also is going to ask you, do you want the application? And keep in mind, you can run this browser only. So I run this on a work computer, just browser only, because I don't need to put a bunch of stuff on my work computer.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Jason, I got a question.
Yes.
I'm looking at it here. It says claim your account. I assume that's that's nothing more than just putting your name in the basket, so to speak.
Yes, I think so. They use kind of cool, hippish, trendyish words. So I'm guessing that it just says, yeah, make up your name. I mean, if you know,
That's what it is.
my primary. Oh, thank you. You know, my primary name is just my name, my call, and then I think I have a little HRTV, because just to let people know about the YouTube channel and all that as I jump around to other Discords. And you know, if you do follow YouTubers, you know, ham radio YouTubers for that matter, really probably anybody, more than likely they have a Discord. You know, so I have Digital Analog Ham, he has a Discord. I have DX Commander, I have Jason in Texas, that's Ham Radio 2.0. Another guy named Steve T.O. Yeah, Josh. I mean, and Josh. So if you're aware, Josh, he was probably like the biggest YouTuber ham radio dude. Recently picked up Ham Nation, doing that every other Wednesday. He has a live show every Saturday at 5 p.m. our time. It's about an hour and a half.
It's huge.
He drops that show and then he goes to Discord. And that's how I learned about this a handful of years, because he kept saying, yeah, come chat with us on Discord. And I'm like, what is he talking about? So figured it out, found the link, jumped in there. After his weekly live streams on Saturday, people will drop down in here where it says live stream after chat. And right now, there's nobody there. But this quickly will fill up immensely. I mean, there's probably 300 people in this live chat.
Yeah.
And it's full duplex, so everyone can talk over each other. But, you know, a couple people kind of moderate, let people know, slow down, wait your turn, we'll come to you next. But it's just neat. If nothing else, you could set it up, listen to it in your shack, clean your bench off, whatever. I definitely frequent it. It's kind of fun. People get a little carried away there. But for the most part, it's all ham radio. I mean, I, you know, tried very hard in my personal Discord. It's not my personal, but like the channel, to keep it very much ham radio. And, you know, for a while we were having fun with memes, but you got to be careful, because before you know it, you get political memes. You'll get sexist memes. You'll get all these different memes. And, you know, sometimes in any kind of group or organization, you might think we all are exactly the same, right? We're all in the same boat, whatever that might be.
What's a meme?
What's Are you being serious?
Yeah. What
Okay.
did you
I
just
don't know what
say?
it is either.
Okay.
Hey, Jason, you should show a meme on the screen. Share your screen and show a meme.
Yeah, let me pull up my meme. I
This is
hope.
gonna be interesting. There.
All
there
right.
you go.
All right. So that's a smaller meme.
What does it mean though?
So this was surging the internet. So here's Bernie Sanders. This was during the inauguration. They photoshopped Bernie Sanders in almost every photo.
Yeah.
So he's there at field day. Here he is on the flight line. So a meme is you take something that happened in the news, and so this was the day of he's like, hey Mark, I'm getting bullied. Coincidentally, that day everyone got logged out of Facebook, which was weird. So the joke is Bernie called Mark, and Mark logged everyone out of Facebook and made them put in their password and all that stuff, because you know, here's someone saying, just moving this into my nonfiction section, and this is the book 1984. So a meme is it could be a lot of things, but it's just like, who remembers what these are? Bruce?
That's a washing machine, isn't it?
I'm
The refrigerator.
That's probably for the young people. Hey, I got a serious question.
Good.
What if I did a technical project? Let's say I wanted to post how to install a 2-meter radio into a car, and I took 10 or 12 pictures, hooking the wires to the battery, drilling holes, speaker mounting, radio mounting, and then I write a little PDF text thing of the procedure. Would that could I post 10 or 12 pictures and a PDF file to explain picture after picture and make a procedure of how to perform a project somewhere?
Yes, it will handle pictures up to a certain size, but if everyone's shooting with their phones, you're fine. It will handle a video up to a certain size. It will handle a lot of text. I don't know what the PDF looks like. I've not tried that.
It will handle PDFs.
Okay,
Sure.
it'll handle PDF. So then, Bruce, the next question is where would be a good place to put this? And this is where I love to brainstorm with other people, because right away I'm thinking, well, East Bay Ham sounds fun, because I want to take. I think what everyone's doing is larger than our club. So we have a little category for our club, but I fear as an individual, you might not take the time to visit. How many clubs is there? Like 10 different clubs? So then right away, I'm thinking, well, here is this East Bay Ham section. So then we could make another channel. So, we could have Tech Talk, but we could have, what would we call that? We would call that Projects by Hams. Well,
or DIY or something like that.
DIY or My Project.
Yeah, there's so many subjects, like I previously did, converting a power supply to the 2-meter crew, or winding a balun like Kevin has done, and a long wire end fed, and I've done dipoles, Fox direction finding antennas, installs, troubleshooting, stuff like that. Is there a technical corner you can post stuff? Because that's where I wish we could post stuff to our website or Facebook, and let other, YouTube. And by the way, ham radio TV is a marvelous way to get the word out. I can't mention how much I appreciate ham radio TV at the moment. I forgot to mention that.
Thank you.
And that's one way to get the word out, but you have to be pretty good at videotaping yourself and editing and then posting, which I'm not.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
hard.
so Bruce, right away, I just created a channel, and it's that easy. I can create channels, and a few other people can create channels. Otherwise, it'll get really messy if everybody can create a channel. But, I'm open to those ideas. So right away, I'm thinking My Project. I don't think we have to call it, a ham. We're all going to be hams in here, ideally. So here is where you could, and what you can do is you can do like a full copy of a text file. You could have that already existing somewhere and then paste it right in. Do the right click, do the Control C, Control V, and then you can also hit the plus sign, and the plus sign.
What's the plus sign do?
That's how you would add. Oh, it's up here.
Reverses the polarity.
Too many screens.
Reverses the polarity. Oh boy.
So, I could go up here.
Tired. Sorry.
To pictures, and I'm like, we are cool. And then you can post this, and it processes it, and then there's a picture of these two goobers.
Can you? Oh, okay.
And you can put multiple in there.
Oh, you can tag. You can control tag 10 pictures and dump them all at once.
Yep, you can do multiple selection.
And then, can you annotate the picture?
You can. Yeah, you can give it information. Like right there with it as you post it.
Like, this is how you crimp a Anderson power pole or whatever.
Yeah.
See, that would be cool. Hey, Jason, can I add something real quick?
Please. Yeah, I see your hand up.
So Jason introduced me to this fairly recently, and I can tell you firsthand. At first, I was like, okay, another social media, and it's really not social media. So I posted on this thing, on this digital. I forgot which one I posted on, but I was like, hey, what the hell's a power supply? Why would I need it? Where can I get one? So I got like 3 different people right off the bat tell me what it's for, how would you use it, why you would use it. And then I was like, okay, I need to buy one. What do I get? And then boom, Carlos sent me a link for Craigslist and was like, hey, this dude is sending this, what is it, an Astron or what is it? An Astron. He's like, hop on this deal right quick. If I ended up not getting it because it was already sold, but having that kind of information it's so valuable to me. And even antennas, like everything. Like, you know, I want to talk to satellites. How do I do that? And I have like 5 different people telling me like, you should try this. And then that person's like, yeah, you can try that, but you can also try this. So I would encourage like all you seasoned people, even if you know, you might not use this to get information yourself, but it would definitely help people like me who are like figuring things out. And I was just thinking about right now, like you can even have like a section for people who aren't hams, who want to be hams.
Yeah.
And where like people can like give them advice. And then once they get their license, they can like upgrade, you know what I mean? They can join the hams or something. I don't know. Something cool like that. And
yeah. That's a great example. And, you know, to kind of go into that a little bit more. So Servando was texting me, which is great. And he had some great questions. And I knew right away, there's a lot of ways to answer this, you know, especially in our hobby. So I purposely didn't answer him via text, and I started answering him on Discord. And what that created is other people to see that chiming in. You know, here's an example that I pulled up. So, you know, we were kind of having a chat about some satellites. So what Servando did is he replied to me, and that's saying right here that he replied to me. And then in here, he said, I have been in contact with @Fred, WNFRD. So he just pinged Fred. And thanks for the heads up. And then here's Mike. He just pinged Mike. So if you're looking for certain people, you really want to hear what they have to say, you can ping them. But at the same time, everybody gets to see it and gets to kind of share whatever it might be. And for that matter, you could just sit back and just simply watch and read. And there'd be a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then like Mike suggested that one radio with the full duplex. It was really cool, man. Like I thoroughly enjoy this, especially when I had questions about Pi-Star. God, I got like assaulted with comments on that. Like I had so much information, more than I can actually deal with. So I'm loving it so far. I hope you guys hop on, because I got a lot of questions, guys, and not enough resources to like ask them in.
Some information. There's a Mac version, a PC native version if you don't want to use the browser.
Mm-hmm.
There's also an Android and an iOS.
And Linux.
And my Linux machines, that works good.
Yeah.
Two different variations of Linux.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's just, I think email's kind of broken. Just recently in the news, Apple is looking at removing Facebook. So Apple is rolling out certain privacy pieces that make sense. A lot of these companies have been following us physically, our location, and where we go on the internet, and they use it to sell for advertisers and et cetera, et cetera. And Apple and other companies are cracking down because they realize, hey, that's some privacy you're doing. And I think we could see a bit of a change. There's also been a lot of deleting accounts, and it's just very messy, in my opinion, in that Twitter, Facebook kind of error. And so this is just like a sidestep away, and it's kind of new, it's refreshing, and for that matter, I'm just in here with my ham radio buddies. So yeah, so I don't want to keep going on this because it might not be interesting to everyone. Let me know if you got any questions. You guys have my email. It will be a learning curve. I get it. It's kind of, there's a lot of little buttons and things you can do. I do encourage you just to take time, read through it. You know, search on YouTube. If you have a certain question, like how to do this on Discord or how to do that on Discord, it's been around for a while. You're going to find a lot of people talking about it. And then definitely hit me up if something is just not working or if you want to see something more with it.
I know we definitely use it at work with the California courts, so that's how we communicate with all the courts through the state.
No
with
kidding.
IT issues. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's quite the test.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. It just makes it real easy. You know, if somebody has a problem with something, like today, one of the courts had an issue and they're like, Microsoft and VMware is taking too long. So they put it out there and they got like 15 answers within a few minutes.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah. I kind of want Don to hop on there because I want to learn about his trailer that he got and he's outfitting.
Well, the trailer's out right now having barrel connectors connected on the tail and 3 25-foot coax. Can work 3 different antennas.
Whoa.
And then I'm going to install a screwdriver antenna on the back and a UHF VHF, and I'll carry a portable dipole.
That's awesome. See?
You're going to be the guy to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
400 watts of solar power on the panels on the roof.
That's awesome. I want to see pictures.
Okay.
And also, Kevin is on there, and he reads more than he responds.
Yes.
Okay, which is great.
I do read a lot. I don't respond that much.
Every once in a while.
Once in a while, I'll just say something dumb.
He's always watching.
Well, no one's answered my question. I put it out to the chat. Does it work on rotary dial phones? You know, I have a rotary dial up line. How does it work?
I don't understand. What is a rotary dial phone?
What is that?
What is that?
Rotary dial.
I'm sure we could find a meme.
Yeah, you could.
You know,
I got to check with the switchboard. Maybe she can tell.
No, it's operator. I'd like to call Kayla 541. Okay, thank you. Please hold on.
Oh my God. Simpler times. We need to
So,
go back.
I don't want to go too much longer. I think we typically end this around what, 8:30.
Yeah, I'm cool to be. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to stop everybody. I did want to ask a question to everybody, but go ahead, Jason.
No, ask the question.
The question is I know there's a couple of you guys out there that have recently set up some ham stations, and I'm going to call one of them out by name. I'm just curious how his station's working out. Kellen, Kellen, how is your stuff working out?
Well, it turns out my Drake is it's got a faulty alternate 2 antenna. The 80 meter makes a nice sizzle sound, like some sweet bacon going on. So I've learned to not use antenna 2 port.
On this, you go to the switch. It's you switch that position, and it's making a funny noise.
Oh yeah. So I cracked it open and found that 3 of the terminals are actually nice and crispy. One of them is actually burnt out.
Well, somebody cooked it and didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Well,
So it does work on antenna 1. So I did look on online. I found a gentleman that actually does repairs on them, but it turns out his email is no good. So now I'm trying to figure.
Maybe we could find a switch for it, a new wafer switch.
That would be sweet. Other than that, I do have an alternative. I have an antenna switch that I'm going to mount at the base of my tower, so that later on I can run my 40-80 meter to a switch and still only run on just antenna 1 port.
So
that'll keep me going.
So Kellen's got his radio, his amp, and his tuner. Now you put up a different antenna, right? You got your wire antenna up now?
No, I've been working like 60-hour weeks, so I haven't got time to do that yet. But I did install some 2-inch Schedule 40 pipe on either side of my property, so I'll be able to string up some nice poles up at 20 feet in the air.
Cool, man. Awesome.
We're going.
That's great.
It's working out. Yeah, the amp seems to be waking up a little bit more as I use it more, and it's working really well. Oh, I found out I totally lied to everybody when I said my S meter is flat. I've learned my S meter doesn't work at all.
Oh, right.
That's never fun.
Yeah, so I know it did work, but I don't know if it's just from moving from the house to the garage or what. But yeah, as soon as I turn the gain all the way up, it just goes flat, doesn't change. And then when I get booming signals, thinking you'd hear something or you at least see a couple notches come up, but it doesn't move at all. So,
oh, wow. Okay, well, cool. Well, glad things are working out for you. Great. Anybody else got any ham radio news about what something cool they're doing? It doesn't have to be cool. It just has to be fun for you, and just share with the rest of the guys.
I've just been doing some JS8 call. That's interesting.
Cool. I don't know what that is, but it sounds
I don't know
awesome.
what that is either. I need to know. What is that?
It's weak signal digital mode based on the JS8 mode.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it actually, you can actually exchange information instead of just
That's pretty cool.
doing the thing.
You can actually have a conversation.
Yes, once you learn how to use it, it has a learning curve.
That's cool.
Hey, speaking of exchanging information, Kevin, I have a question on that open spot. Like,
Mhm.
when I connect to it on Fusion, how does that thing work? Like, how can I connect to it 4 miles away? Like, I was over by, where was I? I was coming up 680 and I was like almost to Fairfield, and I can connect to it and get into rooms in it. And how the hell do you have an antenna hooked up to it? Is it hooked up to like a mini repeater? I don't understand.
Wait. You're connecting to what? You're using your open spot to connect to what?
No, I'm not using mine. What am I connecting to? Jason, help me out here.
Who are you? I'm not understanding who you're connecting to.
I speak Servando. He is no, I'm kidding. He is connecting to the Brian or the club's Wires X repeater that sits about 30 feet high on a beautiful X510 antenna. And pushing some serious wattage. I can get it here at my house in Vacaville.
Really?
That's okay.
So how's it connected? What I want to know is how's it connected to the antenna? That's what I want to know.
Oh, well, the repeater's in the shop, and it is obviously hooked to the internet, and it has the Fusion software running, so you can get into the rooms and stuff. And there's a piece of really low loss cable coax running from the output of the radio. It goes up, just like Jason said, up about 30 feet into the base of the antenna. It's literally, it's not even a mini repeater. It's a real repeater.
Yeah.
It's hooked up with real filters. I mean, the filters on that thing are awesome. And what I mean by filters is on a repeater, on the transmit and receive ports of the radio, you hook these filters and they're tuned for that particular frequency. That's the only frequency they're tuned for. And then there's a notch filter that's notches out, takes away from the transmit frequency so it doesn't interfere. So what it does is it gives you a nice band pass filter on your receive and a nice notch filter on the transmit. Then it's the opposite on the transmit.
That's awesome.
That's way it's just like a regular, maybe one of these days we'll do I don't know, maybe we can, if anybody's interested in actually we could do a demo on Zoom here maybe next month or something, bring a real repeater in with real, and that's the Fusion repeater with a real set of cans.
Oh, okay.
And we'll just go through the basic, we won't go through the gory, nitty gritty, but we'll go through a basic operation of how the repeater works. Because the repeater, all the repeaters we use are basically a transmitter and a receiver that operate at the same time. And they are typically have some kind of controller between them that tells when the receiver receives a proper signal, it tells the transmitter to turn on and it repeats it. So the audio goes from here and goes out from the receiver to the transmitter. So we could, if you guys are interested in seeing something, especially you folks that are weren't back in over a year, almost 2 years ago, we recorded some stuff about repeaters, how they were built and how the filters worked and stuff. And what I can do is I can set one up and you can, Jason can put up on the screen, and then I can give you a couple of generic pictures of what a repeater rack looks like, just something I worked on. You can go, oh, that's what a commercial one looks like. Oh, that's what a ham one looks like. That's what a filter can. Like when you hear us talk about, yeah, we got to drive up there and we think one of the filters has gone bad. Well, they're literally big tubes that are about, anywhere from 6 inches to 12 inches round and anywhere from, about 1.5 feet tall to, if it's a 6 meter or what we call low band, they're 6 feet tall. They're huge. And sometimes one of those will just quit working. And then your repeater just stops. Sounds really bad.
That's really cool.
So we could show you that stuff. I don't have a problem. I just don't want to bore people to death with, stuff that interests me. That's all.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Here are the cans you typically would see, and I'm guessing that's around a 2 meter.
Yeah, it's probably 2 meters. No, and those are baby cans. And there's all different. I mean, it's hard to know by looking at a picture unless they tell you.
Yeah.
Because I have some the 450 cans are typically in a rack about. I thought I had one sitting right. I had one sitting right there and I moved it. Anyways, 450 cans mount into the rack, 800 megs mount into the rack, and then when you get to 2 meters or 220 and lower in frequency, everything typically gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Like your antenna gets longer and longer, your filters typically get physically larger. I mean, there's a couple of rooms that I've worked in that there's literally a wall that's like 30 feet, well, not 30 feet, probably 20 feet wide and 10 feet tall, and nothing but cans are bolted to it. It's all filters, just so the receivers on the site are work. And then we can show you guys a picture. Maybe we'll divide it into two. This is a basic equipment, right? And how it works. And then maybe next time we'll do one. Okay, we'll take it and we'll show you a picture, give you a graphic on the screen of what that filter's doing. So you can get a mental picture. Say, because if you think about filters, like what does it do? It typically a filter, it takes something out of a bunch of other stuff, or what it does is it allows one particular thing to go through, not completely uninhibited, but virtually, close, and knocks out everything else. So you got the one kind that the band pass, it lets what you want through. And then you got the notch filter that takes out the thing that you don't want out of all the stuff that you want. And there's ways to show you guys a visual picture of what that looks like. And then some of you guys have built the GMRS and some small, use flat packs. You get those flat pack duplexers for like $79. And we've got some of those we can show you. So if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in, let us know and we will do it. I just don't want to get off on a tangent like I just did talking, get off on a tangent and bore everybody to the point you pass out and stab yourself with a brain with a pencil. So I don't want that to happen.
Well, I'd like to learn more about it because we're so dependent on the repeater. It'd be nice to know a lot more just about how it actually works, what it even looks like.
Yeah,
Cool.
I watched a video where someone was using that and they didn't even explain what the hell that thing was or what it was used for until right now that you're like explaining what it is. Now I'm like, that's what the hell that thing was. They made a Bofang sound like a 991, dude. Like it was like, dude, it was so clear on like 2 meters, dude.
The repeaters,
so clear.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks. The guys, there's a bunch of guys out there that are really, really good at building those things. Like one of my friends, if you go by textbook, what goes into the repeater comes out of the repeater, right? So if in a perfect world, if our deviation was plus minus 5 kilohertz and we put a 1 kc tone and we follow the book and we make everything look perfect, right? And then you go, okay, it's great. And then you go to one repeater, you're like, man, that repeater's audio is just always like it's good. It's kind of hot. It's kind of rich. And you go, man, what that guy's doing? He's not going by the book. He's processing his audio a little bit hotter, and he might be doing something else to it so that when his receiver receives it, before it goes into the transmitter, he did something to it to make it a little bit better. That way, the guys on the other end hearing it, it's a little bit hotter. Maybe it's got a little compression. I mean, I don't know. It's all over the map what these guys do.
Like
but
a dealer.
Trim.
What's that?
I said even EQ trim.
They do stuff like I can tell you that if you listen to the audio on our repeater and a couple others, the audio going in is a little bit hotter than the book might say, because some guys' radios, when you're talking to them, their audio is perfect and it's like full and rich and it's loud enough. And then you get somebody who has a radio that for whatever reason, I don't know why, the mic gain's turned down. It's not deviating as much as it should. It's a little lower. So if you give you a little bit of a emphasis on that part of the repeater, it helps even out, the peaks and the valleys. So there's a lot of little tricks these guys do.
What if you just have a little microphone?
A little one? I can't even. Can you make a bigger picture so I can see it? Yeah.
That's
there
a
you
big
go.
microphone.
The little some of those little microphones sound really bad. Is that the Baofeng one?
No, this is a Kenwood. And that's probably a good segue to remind people, best practice is no more than this far away to your mouth. You can even bring it closer. And as long as you shoot your voice to the side, you won't get a lot of pees and pops. But if you hold a microphone this far away, people aren't going to be able to hear you. It'll be like people will be cranking up the volume, like, what's that guy saying? And sometimes people are too polite to let you know if you've got a low signal. So please be a ham in this Hamalee and ask people, hey, your audio is a little low. Are you far from the mic, or is your gain way down?
I'm sorry. I was gonna pick on my public safety friends, but I'm not going to.
I mean, some people get right on in here. And you know what's funny is I almost want to say you can't be too loud or too overmodulated, because people will tell you in a second, but people tend not to tell you if you're weak because they're afraid to hurt your feelings. It's a weird psyche thing. But anyways, you're better off putting this thing down the patch. Anyways, I just noticed, a lot of people are getting into it and they're just not aware of that,
Eat the mic. Got it.
Just about.
Clear. Be clear. I was the Baofeng, that little microphone. Some of those import microphones that come with those radios are some of the worst sounding elements I've ever heard in my life. So be careful with those things. I mean, they're just horrible. The radio sounds fine. I mean, the UV5RV, all those, they sound fine. And then you plug the speaker mic in, and it's like, okay, can you hear me now? Is that clear? Is that here? Let me drill a hole in it. Okay, I drilled a hole in it. Does that help? Wait a minute. I pulled the whole face off. I pulled the whole face off of it. How's that sound? I mean,
don't cup the microphone.
Don't do this. It's just some of those things are absolutely horrible. But what's not? If you see one in a swap meet, it's a old. In fact, I have one laying right there. I am going to grab it.
I was gonna say, man, those Baofengs are only $30, but they're like $90 right now.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Dude, they are like what was that? They're like GameStop stock, man. They're hot right now.
And
they're like toilet paper.
There's an article that Amazon might be they might be kicking them at the end of February. Time is up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. If you go on Amazon right now, you can get like a 2-pack what's it, that UV5R, and it's like $100 for 2 radios that I got like when I first started for like $25. Amazon Prime, next day shipping. It's crazy.
Yep.
Is it like that everywhere?
Yeah, Baofengs are huge right now.
Yeah, people are selling the limited edition ones, or the ones that look like toys. I know Mike has like 2 of them. Dude, those are like so expensive.
Well, that's
you
should buy
Whoever thought Baofeng was going to become a Gucci of radio.
It's an inside thing, man. It's the Chinese. They're taking over.
We went through this 2 years ago when they were talking about blocking out so that the Baofengs wouldn't be able to do GMRS or anything like that. So there was that whole run on Balfangs for like 6 months.
It's kind of the same deal now. Yeah, right.
What's causing it this time?
Well, it's a little worse. So if you're an ARL member, first of all, leading up to January 6th, there was a lot of chatter out there about the president was going to do some crazy shutdowns. He was going to a lot of crazy things about communication, what that can or can't do. I mean, I don't want to get into speculate. Then, of course, we had January 6th occur. There was Bofangs. There was actual recorded traffic on local repeaters of some of the, kind of rioters and protesters that pushed their way in. And so after that, the FCC released a whole, reminder. The ARL released a notification saying, hey, it's illegal to do anything with a radio. I mean, it's illegal to do anything, right? Period. But so there's been a whole buildup with communication could be altered, shut down, to people getting shadow banned, blocked, deleted from Twitter, from Facebook. Everyone, has their accounts. I mean, people that are posting just crazy things. That's who's really being affected.
I'm looking at a Baofeng.
Yeah.
UV. Okay, right here. A Baofeng UV5R. It's offered by somebody on Amazon. It says they're in stock. It's $35.90 right now. It says in stock. The delivery is between February 19th and February 20th. And it's $35, and it comes with the 1800 milliamp. It's a standard UV5.
Camera stops right here. Right.
So I was wondering why.
Look at the BF, the BF8 or the 8BF or whatever.
Yeah.
Now here's one. What the heck is an 18-watt walkie-talkie? Have anybody ever bought one of these things?
Watch out for cataracts. But
holy cow!
It is kind of
a hand warmer too.
It is exciting as a whole because a whole lot of people are buying these radios, and everyone that's creating YouTube videos, especially how to program a Baofeng, how to use a repeater, all of those videos are seeing a tremendous surge like never before. I'm in a Discord with a bunch of other YouTubers, and they're having the time of their life because on YouTube you get a small portion of ad revenue. So all of a sudden, all the ham radio YouTubers are getting fat checks because there is a major interest in alternative means of communicate other than Facebook, Twitter, and who knows what the government may or may not do. I mean, that's a rabbit hole. But yeah, so kind of exciting for the hobby because I think we're going to see a whole lot of new call signs in the next 6 months.
Yeah, well, we'll do it. We'll do something on how a repeater works. You can actually make it. There's actually a kit, and we made one work once. I don't know where I put it. We took 2 Baofangs and made a repeater out of it.
Yeah,
can you believe that? But the descents, if you're not careful, will kill you. But holy cow! Anyways, we'll do that kind of stuff. So, guys, I think it's about 8:30. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut out.
Well, okay? I want to show one quick video, and this is this is a teaser. We slowly prepared to talk about some grounding in your shack. I had a great
we did.
I had a great chat with Bruce the other night on the repeater. Kevin and I have been talking about it. I've been talking to other friends, Steve on different repeaters.
I had questions too.
And we won't get into that now. Possibly the next meeting or a future. We'll better prepare ourselves.
Discord.
But, Discord's a great place. But so I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Step Potential, but this was caught on a video. Let me get all that shared up, and we'll pretty much be wrapping up the meeting after this video.
I want to ask Bruce a question.
All right, go ahead.
Is that 100% modulation behind you with no distortion?
It's 110% modulation with distortion.
110. Okay. Next time, can you give it a little higher resolution so I don't lose the 10%? Thank you.
Okay.
All
Go
right.
ahead with the video.
All right. So Step Potential. We'll touch on that in a second. We're gonna have her. Let me make sure. Let me know.
Caught on camera.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A Texas man caught on camera. A Texas man struck by lightning while walking his dogs. We want to warn you, this video might be hard to watch. You can see the man walking with 3 pets at a park in Spring. Then the lightning strikes and he falls over. Take a look at that. You can see the lightning there. The dogs run away. Surveillance cameras from a nearby veterinarian hospital caught the incident. A vet tech from the hospital found the man and immediately began CPR. The victim suffered very serious injuries, according to a GoFundMe supporting his recovery.
So that they later found out that was not a direct hit. There was lightning in the area. It was raining. It was storming. And simply walking created enough potential between his 1 foot to the other. When you have potential and you have energy and it can flow from one to the other, that is what voltage is. Electromotive force. And what can happen if you don't ground your shack properly, your grounding rod from your house service panel, your electrical panel, and the grounding rod you thought you were doing something very good with now has a separation and has potential difference. So that can create more problems than you think in your shack.
Now you got to tie all those together.
Yeah, that's the question I had for Kevin at my house.
Yep.
I was going to say, it's all got to be bonded. The code says it all has to be bonded.
That's right.
Just
insurance
just ground your grounds.
But we
Tie all your grounds together.
but yeah, but that is
it's
a
just like you bond your water heater to your so that you don't have a differential.
Hey, hot winter's no joke.
Yeah, so we'll be covering that in a future meeting. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of people, smart people, saying different information. I'm finding.
Yeah, and there's a thing too out there. We can talk a little bit about it later, but there's grounding for a DC ground or a AC or RF ground, let's say, and then there's grounding to try to a lightning. I'm going to use the word protection really, really loosely.
That's my question.
Because when lightning hits, you're just trying to get out of the way, with you and your equipment, and a close lightning strike or one that generates a high energy field that does not hit your home or your tower, but generates energy in that area, could still affect your radios, even though it didn't hit it, even though it was, quarter mile away. And that actually happened. I actually had an HF radio that I'm almost positive it was energy in the area. I had a long antenna and it was an open-ended antenna, so there was nothing there to discharge the static electricity. There's no place for it to go except down the coax in the radio. So guess what? Say bye-bye to my my MOSFET front ends or whatever it was. So we had to change them. And then there's the poor person that lightning hits your tower. Okay. Yeah. Well, now what are we trying to save now? Well, we're trying to divert that energy from your tower into the earth, so it doesn't blow up your block of concrete and the tower falls down. That's one thing you're trying to prevent.
On your house.
And you don't want to fall on your house. Another thing you're trying to do is if you use big enough wire and you do it right, the lightning hits your tower, and hopefully you've got enough diversion to get the majority of the energy absorbed someplace else other than in your house. Because your coaxes are hooked to your tower, and your coaxes, many of us, we just run our lines in there and we go to a metal box and maybe have some feed throughs and have a little, cheesy ground going. Well, those grounds probably aren't going to save you. And even if they were done, like the professionals say to do, stuff's still going to blow up. It's just going to maybe mitigate it a little bit. The only way you're going to save that receiver is to unplug it. Unscrew the connect, you unscrew it and put them off to the side. And, and if we don't have to worry about it so much around here, but in the Midwest, man, they got some lightning.
Yeah. That's what my question was. Cause I'm thinking about adding another antenna because I want another mobile radio in here or another another radio in here. And then I started looking and what if a storm hits Like, what if lightning hits this thing
around
and-
here, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But if you're, well, we can do that too.
Well, here,
Talk a little
real
bit
quick,
about-
show of hands. Who has lightning protection or
Yeah, 'cause I
lightning
saw those
arresters?
little- the lightning arrestor, yeah,
All
with
right,
the copper
all
wire. that
right.
you-
Yeah.
So-
Both antennas have it.
We got a couple.
Did you? Okay, who put polyphasers on them? Raise your
Yeah,
hand.
not polyphasers.
But I don't have them on.
Servando, lightning protection is kind of like earthquake insurance for homeowners. I
That's
mean,
me, dude.
you know, a lot of people don't have that.
Oh yeah.
So, what did you, Bob Hawkins, Big said? What did you
Al-
use
Alpha,
for your?
Alpha Delta?
Oh, the inline lightning arrestor. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're grounded, so the other advantage is they bleed off static electricity you get on the dipoles.
Yeah.
Those are very, very. That is probably the short of buying a polyphaser. That's probably the best thing you can do.
They're
They're
not
still
any-
expensive.
They're
You're
not.
saying I bought the wrong ones?
They're not code approved, but they're mil spec, so they might make some nice.
Where'd you get them?
Probably gigaparts, or I might have gotten them direct from Alpha Delta. I don't know.
Okay.
I heard they're only.
I'd have to look.
I heard they're only a one-time use though.
No, they have gas. Yeah.
One time.
Hey, when lightning's nearby, I do option A, which is even with that stuff, I disconnect the
Yeah.
radios.
Yeah.
If I'm
It's
home,
just-
I do. If I'm home, I do.
Yeah. Well,
Can
if
you
I
use
take a trip,
an
I
antenna
just-
switch? Can you use an antenna switch as like a dead man switch, so you don't have to unscrew all your stuff, or is it going to
Yeah,
work? between
No.
there's code.
You will still go through.
It's just
Code
gonna
is
blow
you're
it up.
supposed to have a lightning arrestor before where the coax enters the house.
Yeah. No, I got it
I
at the
have
bottom
it
of the
in a
tower.
box. I have it in a box right outside the wall.
Yeah.
If you get a direct hit, it's gonna blow through all that. Anyways.
Oh yeah. No, I don't.
It's all to mitigate it to the best.
Yeah, that thing.
There you go.
So, but that's a.
Those are cheaper than my polyphasers.
Yeah.
Polyphasers are
Yeah.
probably the best.
Well, that says UHF.
Polyphasers. That sounds like
Yeah.
a Star Trek
You
weapon.
bolt them. Yeah.
Yeah, my polys were 75 a pop.
Yeah. Well, your
And
poly.
I also got number one grounding running everywhere.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Well, that's a polyphaser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not too bad. $74.
Yeah, but the polyphasers do a little better job on the static discharge and there's some other magic part in there. I don't even remember what it is.
So this model, that Alpha Delta model right there, you see that little brass knob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a replaceable fuse.
Oh, that's cool.
Theoretically, if you survive the lightning strike,
Right.
you can replace the fuse.
That's a really good idea. It's interesting you guys are bringing this up. I literally just installed a rack and I put put two polyphasers on we mount the polyphasers on a 1/2-inch piece of copper, and the 1/2-inch piece of copper is thick, and it's about 4 inches tall and 10 inches wide, and it's mounted on insulators on the wall. And then we take number two THHN wire, stranded or number one, depends on whatever they tell us, and that goes to the grounding system. And the commercial sites, they put a halo around the building, and they ground each location. There's a ground rod. I think there's 6 of them around this small building. There's a wire as big around as my thumb. And what's the name of that stuff that you?
They weld the connections.
What's there's one that starts with a T?
It's a thermic weld.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
a God weld.
It's thermite.
Thermite.
Yeah.
That's
Thermite.
it. Thermite. I never can remember that. So the top of those, they put the kit and they thermite them, and then we pound them in the ground, bury them, and then that goes all the way in the building. And then on one side of the building, your ground is terminated to that, and then from there it goes over, and there's one that goes on your tower, and then there's a second one or a third one on the tower to help divert it in case lightning does hit the tower. Now they're trying to mitigate the energy away from the tower. So it's like a lot. I mean, I think we spent almost as much time hooking up this silly ground as we did making the radio work.
Oh,
But you know, Huh?
Yeah, at the microwave sites, we also grounded the propane tank, the generator, the fence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Cadwell.
Well, they don't ground the fence, and I don't see anybody ground the fence anymore because they, the copper. If there's a wires running around there, people steal them.
Hey, we do
Yeah,
that at
there
work.
you go.
That's how we ground the buildings at work.
It was
Like
CAD welded. It was
Yep.
CAD welded to the post.
Yep.
Yeah, like a railroad tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't use that pour and stuff anymore. They use little pods. It's like a little K pod you use for coffee.
Yeah.
Like a Keurig.
Well,
It's
there's
actually,
a kit.
That's what it looks like, and it's got a little electric battery discharge that ignites it.
Really?
We didn't even need any, but they sent us a kit. We thought they thought they needed 2. A guy must have ordered a kit. He ordered like 12 of them, and there's their little kits that come about this big, and you literally, it basically does that.
Yep.
So it's not advised to do that during fire season.
Yeah. And we didn't do it because it was already done. It was already there.
Nasty if the molds aren't pressed tight enough. That stuff gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff. Personally, I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
It can't be that bad.
It's not. It's just one more thing I don't want to do.
I'd rather get burned than shot, dude.
Burned and shocked.
I'd rather get burned than shocked. I hate it.
Well, think about this. I don't want to jinx anybody. When's the last time somebody around here got knows about you got hit by not personally like hit your body, but like has your neighbor's house got hit by lightning, or do you know a ham in Solano County that's gotten hit by lightning in recent history? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Not lightning.
We've had the lightning. I know in Vacaville we've had it within half a mile of my house. I mean,
oh yeah, I know, but I just don't
know anybody other than you, Kevin, that's been struck, that's had their ham stuff struck by lightning.
Well, mine wasn't struck. Like I said, there was a lightning storm
nearby,
and it was nearby, and I'm pretty sure that's what took out. I had my Kenwood TS 450, and the receiver just got really, it was very very deaf. And I checked it out and I went, oh great, the FETs are bad, but Kenwood fixed it really cheap, so I let them fix it. And but I did not get hit by lightning. No, it was
thunderstruck.
Kevin,
yeah,
with the current flow that goes through the lightning, you get an EMF pulse that goes out, and any conductor is going to generate a voltage and have current in it. So even though you're not directly hit, if you've got an antenna line coming down or what have you, it's going to pick up that EMF pulse and generate voltage and zap it.
I had a 1,000-foot loop and a big old dipole, so one of those did it. Hey, so Brian was showing that picture? I think it was Brian.
Yeah, this is you were talking about transmission line, copper pipe.
Yeah.
This is a TV station in Denver.
Oh yeah.
And it's
iHeartRadio has those in their building.
Yeah, this is the tower that goes down to the antenna.
Nice.
Actually,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Brian, what's that a picture of behind you? Brian,
that is a
BXP.
picture of your spectrum analyzer.
Yeah, but what is a picture of?
That is the video from when we were doing. I took a video segment when you were looking for something of the actual sweep of the cans.
Is that the cans that we did?
Yeah, that was the sweep we did before we made the change. So that's on the old frequency.
Can you make that bigger, Jason?
Well, Brian can share screen the video.
Or
that's actually my background.
Well, I just make him bigger.
So be bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to.
I am the speaker view. There we go. Okay, let me get out of the way here and keep talking. Blah 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 blah.
Ryan, you look like
that
a really cool
sweep.
physics teacher.
Yeah, we don't have the markers in there. But
We do call him the professor.
Actually, the marker is
you
down
look like a
towards
professor,
the
yeah.
right. It is
I see it.
right there, right
Yeah, I
in that
see
area
it.
down there.
We're a monkey. So there it is, guys. There's the can. We're don't have the we don't have the it's not normal. Oh, not normal. That's not the word I'm looking for. The sampling's not too slow, so it's really fast. But you look at down there, we're hanging around minus 80 dB. We're cutting out the 600 kilohertz away above. So that's the stuff we don't want to get. And then that other up on the top, right at the top, right below, you can see below 0 dB. That's the band pass for that frequency, or actually it's 600 kilohertz lower. And that's what we want to hear. And that's what a band pass, band reject cavity kind of looks like. So Brian has one.
Yep.
Right there in his living room.
Yeah, and it's the size of a wall.
I know that's very interesting and weird all at the same time.
Yep. You can't really see it right now, but I'm actually holding a piece of Philly strand and
you froze.
an actual structural piece tying down like the cords for the
You froze, Brian. Are you trying to go wireless?
I am doing wireless. It's going unstable again. Hold on.
Yep.
Yep.
You are.
Now my internet is currently down right now, so I have to do this off my phone.
Oh, well,
that's why.
Yeah, there's an actual physical break in the wire, so they have to come out and actually repair it.
Did lightning hit it?
Nope.
Okay.
In the 52 years I've been here, the closest has been about 6 blocks away.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, cool. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut out, we'll work together with Jason and I to get get this technical stuff worked out so we can get a video going, and we'll start really, really, really basic. And then we'll go to our next one and we'll actually do something. And maybe what we can do is maybe Brian, BXP and I, we can do an actual video of the repeater with the actual working parts too.
That'd be cool.
That sounds like a really good idea. I think that we should do.
Yeah, we keep, what's funny? We run out there and we do this stuff and go, oh, great, it works, yay! And then we don't document anything. What kind of hams are we? Not
we're
very
bad
good
ham
ones.
radio operators.
We're bad ham radios. Bad ham radio.
Last meeting I went to, we talked about coax cables, and I walked away thinking only by mil spec.
Yeah.
Spend all your money.
Yeah, everything.
Well, don't come to my house. You won't find that.
Yep. All right, guys, I'm gonna jet. I gotta go kick back for a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. You
act like you have to get up early.
Yeah.
Right, thank you guys. I get up at 3.
I think Jason's headphones are about discharged.
Yeah, that's me too.
My headphones? No, I'm all about wire.
Hardwire
really
for the
fun.
win.
We still got 17 people on. Holy cow,
dude!
Yeah, well,
yeah,
so
Larson says hello.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let me drop. I'll drop the invite to Zoom. I'm gonna in the YouTube if anyone on YouTube wants to join Zoom, but I'm gonna be shutting down the YouTube, kind of end the meeting. If anyone wants to discuss things or have a few questions.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right. Good night, everybody.
See you, Kevin. Have a good night.
Everybody.
The castle. So
Right.
this little piece that this right here, am I breaking up again?
No, you're good.
Okay. So this is actually Philly strand. This is the end piece. So this is actually a synthetic, non-conductive. So when you're doing tower work, the support cables can't screw around with the causing any SWR interreflection issues with your antenna.
So the non-conductive strand is what's actually holding the tower down.
That is correct. It is a, you can't see. Well,
What's it made out of, dude? That looks like fishing line. Oh, is that metal in there? What is
no, that is an aramid fiber.
No.
Isn't that the similar use as just using a isolator?
It's it's basically, except for the whole thing is the whole length up to the actual tower top minus this part here, which is the actual connecting part.
I don't think many people know about this. That thing's got to be super strong and not deteriorate in the sun, right?
This right here is, I think, 5/16. No, it's smaller than 5/16, but it's basically got about 3,000 psi strength.
That's nuts. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you guys later.
Hey, I'm out of
And
here.
then you got
Going
the
to bed.
actual the
Have a good
island
night.
end piece
Hi, Greg.
here. So this will actually be there's a bracket that's going to be on the Roan Tower that this actually attaches to.
That's cool.
So this is I got 2 extra pieces so I can actually physically try